Devils lead the Boston Bruins 3-0 at the end of one period of play here at the Thorns with Al Koken. Take a look at our Volkswagen intermission stats. There you see the score. Boston out shooting 11-9 during the period. Caps 1 for 1 on the power play. The Bruins were 0 for 2, and Washington taking 13 penalties while the our Volkswagen intermission stats are brought to you by Washington area Volkswagen dealers. It's time to look at a Volkswagen again. Philadelphia leads Quebec 0 on the Giant Food out-of-town scoreboard. 2-0 on the Giant Food out-of-town scoreboard. Everything else is tonight. That's the only game that's underway at the Colisée.
We talked a lot about Ridley, Cicerelli, Johansson. You got to give that man, Don Beaupre, a lot of credit also with some outstanding work.
Boston has the power play as Hatcher's still in the penalty box for 1:35, and here comes Burridge to center with Neely. Drop pass to the point. Bourque a shot. Beaupre to save. Rebound in the net for a score. The Bruins use the power play to get on the board. It's now 3-1.
Doing exactly what the Bruins had to do. They had to answer on this power play or early in this period to get some momentum their way. We talked about how well Don Beaupre has been playing. This time he goes down to block the shot and just doesn't get back up. I don't know if that groin gave him a little trouble, but you see he's down on the ice, not really in decent position, and all Brickley's got to do is just flip the puck over him and into the net. So the Capitals give up a power play goal to the Boston Bruins. Andy Brickley becomes the man with the key goal. This crowd back in it, back on the Bruins side, and it's a 3-1 hockey game.
Time of the goal, 16 seconds. Brickley's 6th of the season. And it's a power play goal for Andy Brickley. Burridge and Bourque get the assists. At the blue line, Scott Stevens sends it toward the Boston net, but Bourque plays it out to Lindsman. Over on the right wing, here's Lyndon Byers across the line. He rifles a shot wide of the net. Chased by Johansson. He and Stevens trying to clear it. They finally get it over to Mike Ridley. Ridley to Scott Stevens. Now out to Kelly Miller. Picked up by Dino Cicerelli on the right side, and he takes it back into his own end. Stevens, a long lead pass, too far for Ridley, all the way down, but stopped by Moog, so no icing. Over to Bourque. Quick pass to Lindsman. Right wing side, Byers. Back to Lindsman. Blocked by Scott Stevens, and he turns it around and sends it ahead for Steve Leach. Here's Leach on the right wing. Presses on and can't get past Gary Galley. A collision in the corner. And referee Bill McCreary lost sight of the puck, so blows the whistle to stop play. McCreary looks like that knee's still a little stiff and probably had some time to tighten up on him in the dressing room during the intermission. But I'll tell you what, for happening just 5 seconds into the game, kept right at it, didn't he?
Sure did.
Not smiling much, though.
He's got to be. He's just got to be hurting. Been keeping an eye on him. I mean, he's slow to move, but he has been in good position. He really has been up on the play. He hasn't gotten caught behind, which you would think the inability to skate a little bit. He really has toughed it out and has done an excellent job so far in this hockey game. I'm sure he was trying to keep it loose if possible, but you know, you're in a situation where you want to obviously try and keep some swelling down, so you want to put some cold on it between periods for that reason, but that doesn't help it stay loose and limber.
Leach works for the draw into the corner and is jammed up there by Don Sweeney. Puts it behind the net for Dave Christian. Christian unable to center. Carpenter's right on him. Now it's played behind the net. Over to Courtnall. To Leach. Leach reaches out and pushes at Carpenter, and now Courtnall centers it in front. Christian has it taken away by Semeta. Rob Semeta comes back for the Bruins. Flips it across the line. Christian ahead for Leach and out to center ice for Courtnall. And as he crosses the line, Christian in ahead of the play. Offside is called. It's still Washington 3 and Boston 1. Back with more in a moment.
Dale Hunter against Greg Hawgood, a converted defenseman who's been playing center ice most of this year for the Boston Bruins. He's 5 feet 8 inches tall, 175 pounds. He was a defenseman and a high-scoring one in junior hockey and had some pretty good numbers last year with limited time with the Bruins, but they feel he's just too small to play defense, but he's got such great offensive skills. They're putting him out there at center ice, and he's done pretty well for him.
Rob Cimetta back inside. The Boston zone. Hunter into Chase Weimer. Hunter spins around, centers it. Quick shot on goal and a save made by Moog. Johansson tried to jam it past him. Back into the corner. Here's Bork to take it behind the net. Alan May ties him up. The pass comes to center, and Langway flags it down. Over to Calle Johansson. Back to center ice, and Bork has it there for Boston. Now flips it across the blue line into the Washington zone. Here's Langway behind the net to get it. Back to center. Don Sweeney. Lost the puck. Here's Kyprios cutting in on the left wing side. Can't get past Galley. Wickenheiser slams into Galley. Brickley comes back for the Bruins. Right side, Neely hit the post. Neely cranked up with a lot of steam behind it and hit the goal post. Andy Moog into the corner. Neely swoops in to take it. Turned around now by John Druce. High shot, Wickenheiser, rebound shot, and a goal! Kyprios stuffing it in after being knocked down in the play, gets back up and slides it below Andy Moog, and the Capitals go in front 4-1.
Nick Kyprios, who scored a big goal the other night for the Capitals in Pittsburgh, again simply outbattles Gary Galley. You see how Sweeney and Galley, two very small defensemen, allow Kyprios really just to kind of stand there. Galley tries to whack at him, but too late. Kyprios has already got control of the puck and has it on its way. And of course, looked like Andy Moog could have covered up a little better than that. You see Druce getting the puck to Wickenheiser, who to his credit gets a quick shot on the net. But there's no way Gary Galley should be allowing Nick Kyprios that much free room in front. Galley, who, as we mentioned, has tightened up on his defense considerably. Lapses back there, and the Capitals stop the Bruin momentum with a goal of their own.
Number 3 on the season for Nick Kyprios. Wickenheiser and Druce get the assists at 3:25. Here's Kelly Miller. Taken out of the play by Bork. Back to Ridley. Linsman taunting Ridley, and the puck comes over to Wesley. He feeds Bob Carpenter. Carpenter chases it to center ice, gives to Bork. Bork across the line. Cutting in. Centers it. Carpenter right there to convert. But Beaupre made a sliding save. Cicerelli dumps it back inside the Boston zone. Now Scott Stevens takes over. Here's Stevens across the line. Back to the left point. Keeps it inside Boston territory, but Bork turns around and passes it ahead to center. Here's Linsman across the line. Knocked away by the stick of Hatcher. And Stevens again clearing it out and sends it back to center ice. Weimer to take it. Back to Gould. Capitals 4, Boston 1. 15 minutes, 14 seconds to play, second period. The lone Bruin goal came on the power play. Michael Pavanka hits Hunter with a pass. Throws it back inside the Boston zone. Hatcher holds up and Weimer comes in to get it. Now Pavanka into forecheck, works it free. Over to Hunter. Hunter jammed up on the play. John Carter passes it ahead for Gould. Rink wide it goes, and Pavanka knocks it down. Now taken away by Gould. And back comes Gary Galley. Galley shifts ahead to Hawgood. Passes. Galley fires, and a save by Beaupre. Penalty call coming as Beaupre had to dive to his right to get that shot off the stick of Gary Galley.
Top of your screen, Greg Hawgood is going to get this shot away, or Galley rather is going to get the shot away, and that is when Hunter cross-checks him to the ice. You can see the body flying right there as Hawgood sets up Galley in front.
Hunter in the box for cross-checking at 5:33. And the Bruins have the power play. Bork to Neely. Throws it in behind the net. Beaupre steers it back to the right point. Bork keeps it in. Bork Over to Wesley. His shot hit the side of the goal. Picked up by Neely. Cam Neely to the side of the net. Burridge. He's alone. Passes. And it's smothered behind the goal. Now squirts loose. And cleared all the way down the ice by Kevin Hatcher.
Boy, Doug Wickenheiser did a nice job coming back and pinching off Andy Brickley before he could take a shot at that open net, as the Bruins worked it perfectly. Seemingly found the open man, but Wickenheiser gave up the body.
Neely comes on. Passes to Burridge. Back to Bork. Over to Wesley. Wesley's wrist shot blocked by Miller, who stayed right with his man. Now Brickley digs it out in the corner. Passes it back to Wesley at the point. He loses control. Throws it rink wide for Raymond Bork. Now to Brickley. Up to Bork. Across the line, right side pass. Brickley cutting in, drops it off for Bork. Back to the point, Wesley. His shot blocked by Miller. And chased out of the zone, and Johansson hooked on the play as he tried to come back. Almost got free. Bork, left side for Carpenter. Tries to get around Wickenheiser, and Bork just throws it in. 25 seconds left in the Hunter penalty. Bruins continue on the power play. Sheehy slashes. The puck comes loose to the point. Weimer a drive, and it's knocked down with a high stick. And the whistle blows as the Bruins recover the puck after it had been knocked to the ice by that high stick.
Rob Sabetta, the Bruin rookie, is the man who Neil Sheehy slashed, and then is the guy who knocks this puck down. Popping up in the air, Sabetta coming in from the left wing side, and the stick well above the shoulders when he knocks it down. The Capitals made a couple of adjustments, particularly with that unit that had Neely out there. Cam Neely earlier in the first period had some good scoring opportunities from that slot area. Well, the Capitals collapsed in more, take it away from them, and the Bruins, with the Capitals pinched in a little more towards the middle, were able to do a better job working along the boards and on the outside, and were able to make some quick passes and find open men for the moment. Beaupre with one good save, and then, as I mentioned, Doug Wickenheiser was diving out to knock the puck away from Andy Brickley before he had a wide open shot.
Here's Weimer. Up the left wing boards to Carpenter. Out to center ice now for Lindsman. Jammed up as he crosses the line. Penalty's over. Hunter's back on the ice. Washington at full strength. Centering pass blocked by Beaupre. And now here's Hunter starting out from Mike Ridley. Back to the Boston line. Weimer out to center. Hunter starts right back in. Passes to Cicerelli. Dino Cicerelli lined up in the corner. Brings it back to Hunter. Now to Ridley. Ridley can't get away from Galley, who falls on top of the puck. And now Hunter pushed over by Semeta. There's going to be a holding penalty call coming out of this, though. So we'll have a power play when we return, with the Caps leading the Bruins 4-1.
Jim Weimer is guilty of holding Dino Cicerelli in the front of the net. At 8:02, time for the second Circuit City power play contest. Melody Silver, maybe you'll be lucky as well. He had a winner in the first period. Melody from Clinton, Maryland, has chosen Rod Langway as the Capitals player to score in the power play. If Rod scores, Melody, you receive a video or stereo unit courtesy of Circuit City.
If Rod scores, it'll also be Rod's first goal of the season.
I think a lot of people in this building happy. Is Rod another one from the Boston area? Many fans and friends here.
Rod's not out there right now. Hatcher's on the point with Johansson. Here's Hunter with Pavanka and Cicerelli on the forward line. Hunter goes to the corner after it from the faceoff. Brings it back to the point, Johansson. Now to Hunter. Over to Cicerelli. Back to Dale Hunter. Center, it's blocked. And thrown into the corner again. Dino Cicerelli works it free. Back to the point, Johansson. A slap shot, stick save made by Moog. Hatcher puts it behind the goal. Hunter chasing over to Cicerelli. Bork staying with Cicerelli, and now Dino idles along the boards. Hatcher's free on the right side. It's brought over to Johansson. Back to Cicerelli. Winds up, a shot deflected by Hunter right between the pads of Andy Moog, but just across the goal mouth. And it's cleared all the way down the ice. Capitals change up, and so do the Bruins. 1 minute 4 seconds to go in the power play. Here's Miller with Courtnall and Leach. Stevens and Holder are back on the blue line. Brickley, long right wing pass ahead for Gary Galley. Galley fakes the shot, carries it in, but Beaupre slides it aside for Holder. Now out to Leach. Rink-wide pass for Courtnall. To Holder, picking it up at center ice. Right side for Leach, inside the zone. He gives to Courtnall, coming on a shot, and a goal! Jeff Courtnall off a beautiful pass play. Washington, using the power play, takes the lead 5-1.
Courtnall showing you the advantage of having that left-hand shot on the right wing side. Andy Moog looks like he's more lined up with Courtnall's body than the puck, and gives him pretty good amount of room on that far side. You see where Moog is? He's lined dead straight up against Courtnall's body, but Courtnall able to use that reach and the advantage he's got of the angle from the left wing, or the left-hand shot on the right wing side. Watch it right here. You see where Moog is lined up? He's not lined up with the puck. He's lined up on Courtnall, and there's plenty of room to shoot at. And Jeff Courtnall comes back to further taunt his former teammates with a power play tally. Capitals with 2 for 2 on the power play this afternoon.
Number 10 on the season for Courtnall. Time of the goal, 9:31. Courtnall's third power play goal of the year. Holder and Leach get the assists. And what a pass by Leach. Courtnall over to Hawgood. Fires, and Beaupre sticks it wide. And now Kyprios leads it ahead to center for John Druce. Druce across the line, has Wickenheiser, can't find him, but he comes up with a puck in front of the net. And finally Andy Moog covers it and stops play.
Well, there's one way to guarantee yourself the best seats available for all the Capital home games. It's to pick up a season ticket or a partial plan for the rest of the season. Guarantee yourself the best available seats for great NHL action and the playoffs as well. For more information, Capital sales reps are standing by right now to answer your questions at 386-7080. That's 386-7080. Just a couple more hellos to pass on to all of the Channel 20 fans watching today, people visiting here in Boston. Amy and Rudy say hi to Jim and Janice Michael in Silver Spring. Or Jamie.
Is that Jamie? Jamie, and, you know Jamie Michael.
Bob Handelman, who's a Cap Center security guard up here visiting. Wants to say hi to everybody back at the Cap Center.
Here's Bob Carpenter, a 3-on-2 rush for Boston to Mike Miller on the right wing. Scott Stevens takes it away. Long lead pass brings Druce free. His wrist shot up high and blocked by Moog. Back to center ice for Sheehy. Carpenter to Lindsman at the side of the net. Druce is right in there in front to bump Mike Miller off his skates. And back comes Doug Wickenheiser. Wickenheiser throws into the corner. Here's Lindsman back to get it now for Boston. Out to Carpenter. To Lindsman. Inside the Washington zone. Throws to the side of the net. Blum chasing after it, but Holder gets there first and slaps it all the way down. It'll be an icing call if Burridge gets there first. And he does. Capitals have built up a 5-1 lead over the Boston Bruins here in the second period. We'll be right.
Sorry, Melody Silver of Clinton, Maryland, you couldn't join James Jacobson of Burke, Virginia, an earlier Circuit City Power Play winner today, but you receive 4 tickets for a future Capital home game. To enter the Circuit City Power Play contest, stop by any Circuit City store, fill out an entry form, or send your name, address, and phone number on a postcard, along with the name of the player you think will score in the Power Play to Circuit City Power Play contest, Capital Center, Landover, Maryland, 20785.
Here comes Hunter back now for the Capitals. Dumps it inside the Boston zone. Wesley in with Alan May. It's thrown behind the net. Neely works it free on the right wing. Cam Neely out to center. Gives to Brickley. Holder throwing it behind the goal for Kevin Hatcher. It bounces off the corner boards. A crazy bounce there. Putting it right in front of Beaupre. Capitals get out of the jam and clear it to center ice. John Blum fires into Washington territory. Hatcher back to take it. Leads it up the boards to the point. Bork keeps it in. Now Courtnall moves it out. Jeff Courtnall. Over to Hatcher at the blue line. Bork takes it away. Here's Here's Holder back in his own zone. Hatcher off the glass to Courtnall, but the pass offside. And play again stopped.
Be sure to be with WDCA tonight at 6 p.m. for Star Trek, The Next Generation. That's tonight at 6 p.m. right here on WDCA TV 20.
I don't see any empty seats in this building this afternoon. Looks like another good crowd here at the Boston Garden.
I was talking to Nate Greenberg, who's the outstanding public relations director for the Boston Bruins, and he said that they started doing this a few years ago, and it's been so popular, these Saturday afternoon games. They usually wait until after the 1st of December when Boston area high school football is done, and he said the sellouts just keep coming. Of course, they've had all their season tickets sold this year, as the Bruins really are doing extremely well at the gate. But these Saturday afternoon games have become terrific, popular items, just like the Sunday afternoon games at the Capitol Center.
A lot of youngsters in the crowd today, too. See a lot of families here. Langway clears to the point, but not out. Weimer keeps it in. Now Steve Leach has it on the right wing side. Brings it across the blue line. Drop pass stolen, and it's cleared all the way back to the Washington zone. Here's Hawgood chasing after it. Johansson rides into the backboard. Langway back to get it. Tied up by former teammate Bobby Gould. Courtnall dumped to the ice, and the puck cleared to center. Here comes Robert Joyce. He fires, and a save made by Beaupre. Clears it out to Christian. Now Gould in the corner. Checked by Langway. Cleared up the right wing. Back to the point for Wesley. Fires a shot, knocked down by Johansson. Here's Courtnall coming on, a backhand shot. Caught by Andy Moog. Plays it behind the net. Wesley. Ahead for Mike Miller. Long slap shot right on. Beaupre the save, and Stevens has it behind the net. Up the left wing for Kelly Miller. Up to Ridley at center ice. Ridley across the line to Cicerelli. Cicerelli into the corner. Wesley plays it ahead for Lindsman. Now out to Bork at center. Right wing for Miller. Mike Miller cuts into the corner. Sameta bumped on the play. Lindsman has it in front. Can't get the shot off. Stevens covers the puck. And now plays it. Sheehy grabs and starts to center. Miller left side to Ridley. Ridley pops it up. It's in the corner, and now Bork reaches for it, but Kelly Miller has it behind the goal to Cicerelli. Cicerelli working at close quarters. Now out to Ridley. Ridley jammed up by Don Sweeney. And off the backboards too far for Cicerelli. Here's Kelly Miller. Plays it to Ridley. Rink wide, and Cicerelli over to get it. Dino Cicerelli, a slap shot. Andy Moog makes the save. Back comes Sameta. 5 minutes to play here in the second period. Capitals on top 5-1. Lyndon Byers throws it into the Washington zone. Chipped out to center ice by Cicerelli to Kyprios. Kyprios collides with Moog at the side of the net after being bumped against the goaltender by Gary Galley, and play is stopped with 4:48 to go in period 2. Washington still with a 4-goal lead over the Boston Bruins. A shot and a goal. Kelly Miller.
Former Capital John Blum going into former Bruin Jeff Courtnall. Courtnall has his head down for just a moment. Going to find that puck and clear it up. John Blum gets a free shot.
Well, what about all the rumors that this man, Ted Sater, might be headed to Pittsburgh?
Good possibility. They've talked a lot about Greg Patrick and Ted Sater's relationship when they were in New York. Also Ralph Backstrom, who's the coach at Denver, where Craig Patrick was the athletic director, is also mentioned as a possibility.
Here's Carter coming in and can't get the shot off. Holder pokes it away. Back to the point. Wesley fires, stopped, and Hatcher clears it out to center ice. Gary Galley out of the zone and all the way back inside the Washington end. Hatcher wheels in behind the goal, slams on the brakes, and starts out. Holder left side to Nick Kyprios. Up to the Boston blue line. Kyprios looking for Druce in the corner. Throws it there. Wesley's back to play it. Bounces it off the corner glass, and here comes Bourque to center ice. Raymond Bourque inside the Washington zone. Langway back after. And Carter clears to Bourque. He centers, but there's Hunter to steal. Dale Hunter starts back. Over to Pavanka. Across the line. Coming on with Hunter. Can't get the pass to him as Weimer was there to block it. Now Weimer starts back for Boston. Up to John Carter. Carter at the blue line, but Weimer comes in early. And offside is called. 3.5 minutes to go here in the second period. The Capitals lead the Bruins 5-1.
Mike mentioned a lot of kids on hand this afternoon to watch the Caps and the Bruins. 5-1 Washington lead with 3:30 left to play in the second period. And we'll talk to former Washington Capital Bobby Gould, now a member of the Bruins, in our second intermission.
Bruins get the draw. Weimer throws it rink wide, and Galley puts it inside the Washington zone. Beaupre leads it behind the net. Michael Pavanka. Backhands to the point. Weimer keeps it in. Drives it on goal. Save. Score! Cam Neely with the rebound. And the Bruins are on the board again. It's 5-2.
Well, Neely deserves everything he gets here because he's the guy who comes flying in. He forces Calle Johansson to throw the pass, I'm sure, before Johansson wanted to. Galley with one whack at it as they've rotated, and Cam Neely comes storming in. Doesn't show much emotion. But you see, Michael Pavanka tries to fish that puck out and throws it to the blue line. Weimer keeps it in. Pavanka had to do it because Calle Johansson had to give up the puck a little quicker than he wanted to, with the big Cam Neely bearing down on him.
Now we've got a penalty call coming against the Capitals. Stephen Leach. 2 for hooking, and the Bruins feel that the table is set here to start a comeback.
See Stephen Leach just reaching out and getting the stick on the arm of Andy Brickley. From that angle, you see how Leach had the stick on the arm, and Brickley just threw the body out, trying to get the call, and it works for him.
Leach in the box.
I was going to say, now the Bruins, as you mentioned, Mike, with this crowd back behind him, and Brian Murray has got to see his team come up with a big penalty kill because they make this thing a 5-3 game before they head to the second intermission, and this is going to be a great third period.
This is the 29th game of the season, and Neely has 20 goals. That's his 20th of the year. Weimer gets the assist at 16:44. Gary Galley also picking up an assist on the Neely goal. But Leach in the box. His hooking penalty still has 1:51 remaining. Galley, of course, played with the Los Angeles Kings before he came to Washington, and then signed as a free agent with the Bruins. Miller's out there. Ridley at center. Stevens and Hatcher, the 2 blue liners, against the Boston power play. Here comes Bourque. Right side pass for Brickley. Checked by Stevens in the corner. Back to the point for Bourque. Passes over to Galley. Centers it. Right on. Rebound. Score. Burridge kept pounding at the door after the save had been made by Beaupre. And that's the 3rd Boston goal that has come on rebounds. Boston's second power play goal. There's the save by Beaupre. It's just lying there. Neither Hatcher nor Stevens were able to get it out, and Hatcher wasn't able to contain Burridge. And Burridge makes it 5-3. And the fans come alive here at the Boston Garden. It looked like Andy Brickley was standing pretty close to being in that crease there, didn't it? opportunities, and this time Langway sprawls and helps out Don Beaupre as the Bruins are really pouring it on. Bork and Galley get the assists on the Burridge goal. You see Langway actually making the save there. Langway was in position to make the save and wisely got out of that crease before smothering the puck. The defenseman can't cover the puck in the goal crease. So Beaupre shouldn't be credited with a save there. You could almost give it to Langway. For Burridge. His 9th goal of the year. The Bruins have drawn to within 2. Washington led 5-1 here in the second period. Kyprios jammed up. Gould throws to the point. Bork has it there. To the side of the Washington net. Langway in heavy traffic in his own zone. To the point. Don Sweeney keeps it in. Deflected on goal. And that one rides up under the pad of Beaupre, but he's able to make the save. That slap shot from the point, deflected, I think went right off Hatcher's stick and changed direction there as Hatcher tried to push it aside. And all that did was cause problems for Beaupre, who thought he had seen it the whole way, and suddenly it's headed in a different direction. 2 minutes and 7 seconds to go here in the second period. Washington's 5-1 lead has been cut to 5-3. Caps led 3-0 after the first period. Right now they'll be trying to hold back this Bruin attack. Scott Stevens plays it ahead to Courtnall. He finds Christian at the blue line. Left side for Courtnall, and Brickley clears it back to center ice. Stevens turns away from Neely, but the puck comes to Burridge. Left side to Brickley. He shoots wide of the Washington net. And now Courtnall comes back for the Capitals, ahead to Dave Christian. Inside the Boston zone. Don Sweeney. In to check Courtnall behind the net. Here's Steve Leach. Chasing to the front of the net. Brickley's after him. And now Bork starts back. Leads a pass to Burridge. Burridge at the blue line. And Leach takes it away. Now Neely knocks him off the puck. Fires. Beaupre makes the save. Here's Weimer to the corner. And it's knocked out of the zone by Leach and into the Boston bench. Down to 1:03 remaining in the second period. The Bruins are keeping the pressure on, and here you see Beaupre just getting his stick on it as he lunged across to his left. That allowed Stevens to attempt the clearing play. But Mike Milbury's club is really turning up the heat back inside the Washington zone here in this second period. The Bruins haven't lost yet this season to any club in the Patrick division. They're 4 wins, no losses, no ties. Caps have played 4 games against Adams division teams and have split them 2-2. The losses came to Boston and Hartford. The wins over Montreal and Quebec. Face-off inside the Washington zone near the top of the circle. Linsman pushing and shoving with Alan May as they try to line up for the face-off. And if that continues, Bill McCurry is going to put them in the box for delay of game. He comes over to give them a little talking to now. They still hang on to one another. And Washington takes the draw. Here's Hatcher. We're in the final minute of play in the period. Back of the goal. Langway coming after it. Puck cleared to center ice and now goes all the way down. Stopped by Andy Moog. 45 seconds to go in the period. Here's Carpenter. Out to center for Gould. Gould across the blue line. Gives to Carpenter. Back to the point. Wesley's shot knocked down. Langway has it and clears it ahead to Wickenheiser. Back in the Boston zone. Alan May chasing after it and cuffs Andy Moog. Gave him an elbow. Just hit him with a shoulder. Wesley charges on to Alan May and grabs him and now starts punching at Alan May. Alan May had little room to navigate in there as he charged between the net and the goaltender. He didn't make any overt act, I didn't think, of getting his shoulder or his elbow out there to hit Moog, but he didn't exactly get out of the way either. He didn't avoid that contact. And now Bobby Gould is going to go after Alan May. And Gould ends up on the bottom of this one. Linesman Mark Vines is in there to keep those two apart. Trainer Jim Nerrigan is out to have a look at, well, now May threatening Bob Gould. The Boston trainer has come out to look at Andy Moog, and it appears that he's all right. As I mentioned, it was not as though Alan May came in and just made an attempt. No, now May talking at some of the Bruin players, and the security people are going to have to get May back to the Washington dressing room. And Bobby Gould goes back to the Boston dressing room. May had some room, but not much. And with the goaltender coming back to the net, as you see him make the play with the puck, he's got possession of the puck right there. May figures, why not just bump him? Now you see the arm held out a bit, and as he goes by, pulls it in, but still enough to just graze him. And that knocked the Bruin goaltender down. So it wasn't as though May avoided that contact. He welcomed it. But it wasn't like he went in and ran the goaltender. Sometimes you'll see that happen. So May certainly not as guilty as some of the Bruin fans might think, or some of the Boston players might have thought after seeing their goalie lying flat on his back. But May didn't come into it with clean hands. Here you see once again the puck is being played by the goaltender, and May hit the stick, and then eventually the elbow and arm of Alan May went against the goaltender Andy Moog's head, and Andy crashing into the backboards there. So that is what has caused all this brouhaha, with Alan May being jumped by a couple of Boston players and finally Bobby Gould. Although it was Wesley who first went after him. And Bill McCreary is now explaining how this will look in terms of the penalties to Scott Stevens, who is the alternate captain for Washington on the ice, along with Ray Bourque, the captain of the Bruins. Here come the calls.
Number 16, Alan May, 2 minutes for roughing and 5 minutes for fighting. For Boston, number 26, Glenn Wesley, 2 minutes for roughing. For Boston, number 18, Bobby Gould, 5 minutes for fighting and a game misconduct. Time of the penalties, 19 minutes, 36 seconds.
Well, Bobby Gould gets a game misconduct. So they rule that after the original altercation had been broken up, Bobby Gould's coming on earns him 5 minutes for fighting and then a game misconduct. And Mike Milbury doesn't understand that and asks Raymond Bourque to go over and talk with Bill McCreary once again. The time of the penalty calls, 19:36 of the second period. May getting the roughing for his contact with Andy Moog. The fighting penalties go to May and Gould. Wesley for roughing up May in behind, or rather in front of the net. And then a game misconduct for Gould's beginning that fight after the original altercation had already been broken up. May was headed back to the bench, presumably to go to the dressing room, when Bobby Gould arrived on the scene and went after him. The Bruins have 5 skaters out there, so do the Capitals. Only 24 seconds left. And we'll see how that affects both teams. See if the Capitals can slow down this Bruin rush now for the rest of the period. Neely starts back, gives it to Raymond Bourque. Bourque to center ice, 10 seconds to go. Up to Carpenter. Carpenter in the corner, behind the net, checked by Scott Stevens. And back over to Ridley. Right wing pass picked off by Bork. He steals from Cicerelli as time runs out. And there's the end of play in the second period. As the Capitals come on to score goals from Nick Kyprios, Jeff Courtnall. Now some more pushing and shoving as Carpenter and Byers have something to say to Cicerelli. But Boston getting goals by Brickley on the power play and Burridge on the power play, and a goal by Cam Neely. The shots on goal in the second period. For Washington, 8, a two-period total of 17. And for Boston, 19 shots on goal, a two-period total of 30. Capitals lead the Bruins 5-3 at the end of 2 periods of play.